All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go racing. Heat 1, Jessica Childs and Adam Clark have the front row. Ryan McDaniel and Dean Buck are on the second row. Brad Ronning and the Maniac have the third row. Edmund Jones and Andrew Thornton round out the field for Heat 1. Waiting on the last couple of drivers to get on the grid with the invert. Jessica Childs will start her first Jones BS. No, wait a minute. Jess did not make the grid for Heat 1. I hope she makes it in for the feature. So Ryan McDaniel and Brad Ronning will now have the front row. Everybody stacked up, ready to go. Remember, this has a very interesting pit road entry, but they can fire as soon as the green flag drops, and it drops almost the moment that pace car turns in out of 4. And there goes that pace car, and there's the green. Heat 1 underway. Adam Clark already up trying to battle Ryan, but he loses ground up on the high side. Brad Ronning and Edmund Jones right behind, side by side with the Maniac. Whoa! A lot of bumping. Ronning goes way up the track. Ryan McDaniel has opened up a bit of a gap. Ronning in second. My apologies. That was Clark that got sent backwards. I'm doing good, Punsy. How are you tonight? Ryan McDaniel, Edmund Jones, and Brad Ronning side by side. The Maniac tries to come up the middle. Heavy contact. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of contact out here tonight. 4 laps to go. Ryan still has the lead by about 0.8 of a second in Heat 1, but Edmund in second, starting to close the gap. Matt Moniak now up into third. Points leader Andrew Thornton in fourth. Looks like Dean Buck and Brad Ronning had a problem a moment ago, both losing ground, and Edmund Jones has gotten to Ryan. Ryan's around and into the wall. And here we come. White flag is in the air for Heat 1. Edmund has the lead, but the Maniac not far behind. But out of 4, Edmund Jones wins Heat 1. Moniak comes home in second, and Andrew Thornton pulls off a third, and they are stuck at pit road. On to heat number 2. David Lux and Becky Snodgrass have the front row. Richard Young and Steven Seams on the second row. Brian Hewitt, Vern Spring on the third. Scott Snodgrass and Nolan Perry round out the field for Heat 2. And I think the league may need to change the nickname David Lux's nickname in the Discord is No Talent, but with a couple of heat wins and a couple of battles for wins this season, that name may have to change very soon. Looks like Richard Young is not going to make the grid. Everybody is rolling, and it does appear Lux has a penalty. He'll drop to the back, putting Becky Snodgrass and Brian Hewitt on the front row. Hewitt will be in control for the start. Pace car is in. Green flag in the air. Heat 2 is underway. Hewitt gets to the lead quickly. Scott coming up behind Becky now. Becky goes a little wide through 3 and 4. Scott looks underneath. They get together. Scott goes around. Becky manages to save it, but Vern pulls up into second. Another incident back behind. Nolan Perry managed to get through clean. Oh, Becky gets into Nolan. They both save it. Meanwhile, out front, Hewitt continuing to pull away. His lead now 1 1/4 seconds. Vern Spring in second. Nolan Perry in third. David Lux. Oh, Lux comes across Becky's nose. Hits the wall. Lux thought he was clear, came up a little too soon. He had been on the move. That was a heartbreak. Nolan Perry has the fastest lap in Heat 2 as he closes in on the bumper of Vern Spring. Vern a little out of shape. Ouch indeed. 2 laps to go for Hewitt. Perry still side by side with Vern. Hewitt's lead almost 2 seconds. White flag is out for Heat 2. Brian Hewitt appears to have it locked up. And out of turn 4, Brian Hewitt wins Heat 2. Nolan Perry comes home in second. Vern Spring comes home in third. And it is time for the main event. Riley Duncan and Richie Joplin have the front row. Edmund Jones, Brian Hewitt on the second row. Matt Moniak and Nolan Perry on the third row. Andrew Thornton, Vern Spring have the fourth row. Adam Clark and Steven Seams round out the top 10. Ryan McDaniel starting in 11th next to Becky Snodgrass in 12th. Dean Buck in 13th. Scott Snodgrass in 14th. Brad Ronning in 15th. David Lux in 16th. Jessica Childs and Richard Young rounding out the 18-car field here at Lanier. And Jessica Childs did not take the grid. Drivers stacked up. Pace car will pull in next time. Riley Duncan was fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. Will he be fastest in the feature here tonight? Let's find out. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. The feature is underway at Lanier. Hey, good evening, John. The top 5 quickly, single file. Adam Clark has had a problem back behind. No caution yet. But a big smoke screen down the back straightaway. Becky has had a problem and gone to pit road. Meanwhile, they were 3 wide battling coming out of turn 4. That time, Andrew Thornton trying to make his way forward. And everybody's squarely. Hewitt goes around. Caution is out for the first time. Worth noting that even though Hewitt went around, it was not off the nose of Ryan McDaniel this time. Hewitt up on the high side, may have just gotten a little loose, comes down across Vern's nose. Oh, and Ronning has nowhere to go, gets right into him. Let's look down from the blimp, see if he had any help on this one. Oh, he came down and got across the nose of Nolan Perry, then found Vern's nose. And in that group, Ryan was the only car that didn't hit him. Top 2 are the top 3 still the same. Moniak now up into 4th. Andrew Thornton in 5th. Vern Spring in 6th. Ryan McDaniel, after narrowly avoiding that, is now up into 7th. Steven Seams in 8th. Scott Snodgrass in 9th. And Dean Buck in 10th. Very close call for Ryan McDaniel. A lot of close racing. These guys are definitely using the whole car here tonight. It has become a contact sport. Just imagine what's going to be like when they get the more powerful late models out on track. And here we go. Pace car turns in. Green flag back in the air. Takes them a minute to get these little 200 horsepower cars up to speed. But out of turn 2, they begin to zoom down the back straightaway. Moniak trying to go up the middle, 3 wide, couldn't get in. Richard Young now up into 10th, up 8 spots already. Edmund Jones taking 2nd away from Richie. Oh, and everybody down to the apron. Moniak, well, big wreck on the backstretch. Caution. Second caution of the night, and I never thought I would say the big one just happened at Lanier. Richie already out of shape, but gathers it up, comes across the nose of Moniak. Andrew Thornton and everybody else just pile in. Here comes Richie just across the nose, and nothing anybody behind could do. They were right on each other's bumpers. Well, we mentioned it was a contact sport tonight. They have gone full contact. Definitely a big crash, and I am sure it did hurt just a little bit. Wow. We're used to seeing big incidents at Daytona and Talladega, even at iRacing Super Speedway. That was a pretty big one for a 1/3 mile track. Andrew Thornton has slipped back into 11th. Ryan McDaniel back into 12th. Richie Joplin back to 14th. That's a really good description, Dazzy. Everybody stacked back up, ready to go. I'm definitely going to make a note and remember that one, Dazzy. Thanks, buddy. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Riley sends it into one quickly into the lead. Clears traffic. Edmond on the high side trying to clear Moniak. Moniak back down deep into turn 3. Adam Clark starting to make his way forward once again. Drifty Richie back here at the back is in the perfect spot, dialing up his in-car camera for a lap or two as they come out of turn 4. Down the front straightaway, back into 1 and 2. Very little time where the wheel gets straight here. You're just constantly turning to some degree. And whoa, a little loose out of 4, but he saves it. And if anything were to go wrong in front of him like that, you barely have time to react. A spin out of 4 and a spin on the backstretch. Caution is out. Look like Richard Young and Matt Moniak involved on the back straightaway. Scott Snodgrass on the front. Let's take a look. There's Moniak in the 94. He gets a little bobbly out of the turn, but no issue. Then a few seconds later comes down and bumps Scott. Scott goes around. See if we can see the other incident. There it was. Richard Young just gets a love tap from Andrew Thornton, backs it into the wall. Gourmets with cars? Yeah. Good name for it. All the drivers getting stacked back up, and you noticed when we were riding along with Richie Joplin, You noticed all the cars had some degree of damage to them here tonight. None of these cars will go home unscathed. Lights are out on the pace car. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. 24 laps to go. Edmund couldn't get enough of a run. Almost made a move. Couldn't get there. Now Moniak looks underneath. Simon, I would do the exact same thing. Vern Springs sneaking his way up into fourth, but has some contact from Seams. Steven Seams now up in the mid. Whoa! A lot of bumping into 1 and 2. Vern gets sent up the track. Just a chain reaction that sends Vern up the track and back several positions. Now Steven Seams up to fourth. Moniak currently sitting in third. Points leader Andrew Thornton all the way back in 13th at the moment. Definitely could be a huge points night for Moniak here if they finish as they run or anywhere close to it. Moniak's going to close the gap as Richard Young has had a problem. No caution as yet. Richard not having a good run here tonight, and whoa! Got loose, just slams into Andrew's side, does quickly recover, and keeps her going. Riley Duncan, meanwhile, quietly just running laps. He's keeping about 3/4 of a second on Edmund. Edmund sitting in second. Matt Moniak in third. Drifty Richie in fourth. And caution! Caution is back out. Steven Seams involved. Hey, good evening, JR. Steven Seams has towed it into pit road. Let's see why. There's Seams on the high side, battling with Vern. Vern comes up just across Seams' nose. Oh, and Seams just sticks it in the wall and tows it in. A rough end to his race. That pace car driver is hard at work tonight, Pudsey, and I have often joked that iRacing, you can ghost through the pace car, as Becky just showed. I've often joked that during the silly week of the season, week 13, which is coming up, they should just randomly make the pace car solid and see the chaos. Well, JR, hurry up and get back out to racing with us, buddy. We do have a new crane camera for you here tonight. We'll be using this a little bit more during the late models. Should get 1 to green this time by just over, or actually be right at 10 to go when the green flag drops. And here we go. Pace car drops back in. Green flag back in the air. It is 9 to go at the line. Edmund goes deep into 1 and 2, trying to stay even. He might actually have a run here. Riley, oh! Moniak is in the wall. Caution is back out. Looked like Moniak and Richie Joplin were battling fiercely. Moniak in the black 94. Drifty Richie up top. Oh, Richie turned in right as Matt Moniak pushed up. They just met in the middle. A little bit of a racing incident. But don't worry, Moniak's still gonna send it. Riley Duncan has led every lap so far, just a few more to go, but Edmund Jones was showing signs he might be able to do something with him. Richie Joplin has unexpectedly towed to pit road. I didn't think he got any significant damage in that incident. Should get 1 to green this time by. And folks, don't forget, after this one, a very short break as they put up the mini stocks and bust out the late models and go at it again here in Lanier. Hey, good evening, Tina. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. 3 to go. Riley clears into the lead. Now Perry. Oh my goodness, he was looking underneath. Got loose through 1 and 2. Edmund Jones right on Riley's bumper as they battle for third back behind. Riley Duncan holds the lead. Edmund right there. Out of turn 4. The white flag flies one more time around. Nolan Perry is starting to reel that top 2 back in, but not early enough. And Riley Duncan pulls off a dominant win at Lanier. Edmund Jones comes home in second. Nolan Perry finishes in third. Hey, good evening, Onyx. Thank you, buddy. And let's talk to our top 3, starting with Nolan Perry. Nolan, that was a hard-fought third place, and you definitely had your hands full on that last restart.
Yeah, I definitely had my hands full there. I got lucky tonight with a couple guys wrecking in front of me after going to the back. But yeah, I don't know if I would have had anything for Riley and Eddie. They're both so fast. But yeah, I'm happy to be on the front stretch tonight.
Well, man, you definitely were starting to close the gap there. Just not enough time left in the race, but it was quite a run tonight. It was obvious you were one of the fastest cars out there, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to thank Eddie and all the admins for putting on this series. It's a great way to spend a Monday night, and we'll see you guys later in the late model stock.
Sounds good, buddy. Edmund Jones comes home in second. Edmund, you came home in second, but had nothing for Riley. In fact, only one of those restarts did it look like you had any hope of challenging him.
Yeah, that last restart, I had a really good run, and I got to go look back and look at the replay, but I think there was some net code or something, and it ran me up a little higher than I wanted. But I was hoping to make it a fun run to the end there, but Riley's a great competitor. It was fun racing with him, and I'm out of the points for the mini stocks. My focus is on the late models, and just being able to come out here and get a good finish in the minis, it's a lot of fun.
Well, man, great job, great finish. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
And finally, our winner, Riley, man, congratulations. That was the definition of dominance. Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, fastest in the race, and led every lap.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a much better race, to be honest with you.
You really can't, man. That was an outstanding performance, and it looked like you were just untouchable. Edmund on that second to last restart got a little bit better jump off the start, but after about a lap, you were pulling away again.
On that last restart, it was weird. It was like our cars got suctioned together. I almost got turned into the outside wall there. I think I might have drifted up a bit. That was my bad. But other than that, yeah, I was getting a little worried about the restarts. I mean, it seems like we end up having a green-white checkered almost at the end of every week now.
It does seem like that, but it just didn't phase you. Man, congratulations. Great win. Now go pull off the sweep in the late model.
I can.
Riley Duncan gets the win. Man, that was that was one heck of a race. I am really looking forward to what we have here in just a few moments as the late models will be out on track. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments.